My name is Katie LeClaire.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Morano.
Hi, I'm Lucas Graybiel and I play Toby Kennish.
Hi, I'm Lea Thompson. I play Catherine Kennish.
I play Bae Kennish on Switched at Birth.
And I play Daphne on ABC Family's Switched at Birth. So for me, I learned ASL when I was in high school, and my school, you had to have a foreign language to graduate. My school happened to offer American Sign Language, and I was very lucky because at that time it wasn't mainstream and it wasn't super popular. So my sister was an ASL teacher as well, and so I thought to myself, man, I could have secret communication time with my sister. I am in!
Well, how I learned ASL, the crazy part is I didn't know anything about sign language before I started the show, and I had to be the first person cast, so I had at least 3 weeks to learn sign language. And what they did was they taught me to the scene. They had an ASL master go through the scenes with me and break down every single word that I would have to learn to sign. As the characters evolved, we've all had to learn ASL, and I mostly learn for the scene, but I'm kind of picking it up. So now when I get a script, I know half the signs. So, and then I have to work with an ASL master to kind of learn the rest of them. But my character is lucky because I'm not supposed to be great at it, just good.
I knew absolutely no sign language before Switched at Birth. Found out I was fingerspelling my name wrong. I was doing R instead of S. So yeah, I learned it entirely for the show. And what was nice was Bae, my character, was learning it as well. So I could be terrible. For like 2 seasons, I could get away with being pretty terrible. It's getting a little bit harder now. Like, she's pretty good and fluent, and I'm not fluent. So, I'm just chugging along there.
I learned ASL straight from the beginning. I knew a couple of signs before, that I'd learned in grade school or whatever, but Katie, actually, I went to her when the show started and I said, I would love to learn 5 signs a day. So whenever I'm on set, I want to, give me 5 signs, and I felt like that was an easy thing that I could keep up, and I kept it up for a while, and then I, kind of got lazy with it a little bit, but, as my character learned more and more, I was required to sign better and more, and every time that I have a line, usually I learn at least 1 or 2 signs that I didn't know before, so I'm always adding to it. It's a little slower process than, say if I were in a class or something, but I feel like I retain it a lot more because of that.
So I signed up for ASL. I found out that I was really good at it, and it kind of just flowed within me. I'm a very visual, kinesthetic learner, so both of those things combined, it just clicked in my brain. And I never thought that it would come back in this kind of way. I operate as a hearing person in my daily mainstream life, and when the role for Daphne came up, they said, we need a girl who can play deaf, and I happen to have something called Meniere's disease, which is a problem with fluid retention in the inner ear, and you get pressure in the ear, ringing in the ear, attacks of vertigo, and fluctuating hearing loss. So I totally understand where Daphne's coming from. As far as deaf culture goes, I've been involved in the deaf culture for quite some time.
So when you are doing sign language and talking at the same time, it's called simcom. So you're simultaneous communication. You're speaking 2 languages at the same time. So I'm doing this and I'm doing this at the same time. So I practiced nonstop, in the shower, in the car, just constantly. And it was like boot camp, because the talking part of the scene was not a problem for me. It was all the sign language, and to have to be able to do it, and the good thing was I was a dancer, so I understood pattern, and I picked it up relatively quickly, but I wasn't that good. But I was good enough for the pilot.
But one thing you don't know about ASL is it's not just signs, it's willing the other person to understand you. So it's a lot like acting, because you have to use your face and your energy to show the person what you're saying. It's not just hand gestures.
I think what I've taken away from this show is a knowledge of the deaf community that I didn't have before. I didn't know a deaf person before I started this show, and now I know so many, and I've worked with so many, specifically actors.
I didn't know when the show started if my character was going to have to be a big signer, heavily involved in the sign language, but I was excited just in general that there would be people around on set having, you know, interpreters and Katie and the other people who, you know, the deaf characters and other people who are just on set who know sign language. It's just another element that's on set that is cool, you know, watching people converse in sign language. So that's really, I kind of wanted to learn before I needed to learn from a character point of view, which was nice.
I think that the deaf culture has opened, I mean, they've received our show with open arms. I think that they're just proud and excited to have, you know, a piece of what they experience in their daily life represented on television for a mainstream audience.
But having been on this show so much and fallen in love with the deaf community, I think it's awesome. It's so, it opens up both experiences, you know. You get to have like a full, because as a hearing person, I had no idea what it was like to be deaf. I had no idea what they see more and how they're different. And now as a relationship, it would be so awesome. And if the hearing person could learn sign language, that would just be beautiful.
I practice a little bit with my girlfriend at home too. She got an app on her phone, so she's learning, and I teach her all the signs that I know. And so it's great, you know, for being at a loud, you know, restaurant or talking across the room at a party or something like that, that we can communicate and not have to yell or whatever.
When I first read the script of Switched at Birth, I pretty much knew that sign language would be a big part of the show. That's the real interesting hook about the show, and why a lot of our fans really love it, and why it really is changing the world in a lot of ways, because it's opening up people's mind to the possibility of ASL. It's making them feel like they can try to communicate with deaf people, even if they don't know it perfectly. You know, that's why the show is so important.
For me, learning ASL as way, like literally 10 years before this role would even come into my life, was all in preparation for me to be ready for the moment that is right now. And here we are, you know, at the end of filming season 3, and we have fingers crossed for season 4, and there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to come to us, because our show is amazing, and what we do is innovative and groundbreaking and not seen on any other network, on any other channel. And I think if nothing else, people are curious into like, what is the deaf world? What is that culture? Because it is a rich, profound experience when you're involved in the deaf culture. It is like nothing else, and it's so beautiful, and it's just exhilarating to be able to share that with people.